about it. We have gone out and worked some radar. We wrote a ticket this morning out there in that speed zone because it changes speed zones as you get to that hill. I know they'd like probably for it to see us more out there than what we are, but we're trying to get out there more since they came out and talked to us.
And you know, the continuum here, officer presence usually takes care of that for short term. But once you start issuing citations and not warnings,
absolutely.
And now people are starting to pay attention because nobody likes money out of their pocket.
Exactly.
Because it comes out the other side when you deal with your insurance company.
Yes.
So a few NTAs will go a long way.
We rode an NTA for 13 miles an hour over the speed limit this morning. We did have one individual that was called in specifically that he drove by very fast. We sat out there and waited, and of course he never came, and we went ahead and we just went and visited him because we knew who he was, knew he was going by every day, and said, listen, pal.
Well, I encourage them to kind of keep track. If you have an individual or you have a time period that you see the majority of your violations in, please let the sheriff know.
Yeah.
And if there's enough good information and descriptive information to follow up with, say, an interview, and I know how this works.
Yeah,
I mean,
and like I said, I know they're frustrated, and I could sit here and tell you that I think they have a very valid concern out there. It is a very dangerous place,
sure
and we're trying to approach it. And like I said, we have been out there a lot more since they came and talked to us. We have wrote one NTA. We have set out there. I know they'd like to see us sitting out there more.
Sure, but that's hard to do. But if you have, let's say, quitting time, somewhere between the 4:30 and 5:30 range is where you're seeing most of these violations take place. It would make sense to have a deputy pass through there several times.
Yeah, and what we're doing is, and that's exactly what's happening. The one individual talked to us, he gave us some time frames where he sees them the most, and it doesn't line straight up with going to work and coming home from work. And that's when we're trying to hit it, and this morning that's what we did, and we're just sitting there instead of moving, because once you get up over the hill, then the speed zone changes again.
Sure.
And the problem seems to be specifically there, so we're doing some stationary radar right in that area.
And I think if you keep that officer present up, they'll appreciate it, and it'll hopefully alleviate it to some extent.
Yeah, like I said, I could understand their frustration. I know they're frustrated.
It is too bad that people want to walk that and they don't walk it because it's oil.
Yeah.
But that's a narrow road. It doesn't matter how fast you're going. Two people meet at the same time in those pedestrians.
Yeah.
It's not a good place to walk.
Yeah.
It's been a bad road ever since I've lived here.
Yeah. And they make that loop. They go up and they turn and they come around the cemetery. And it's a very popular place.
Just a cruise.
Just to cruise. And, it's like I said, I know they're frustrated. I know they're probably not 100% happy with us, but I also see their concern. And I see where that frustration comes from.
I just think a little bit more effort in your officer presence would. If they've got a few minutes just to run out there and make that 4-mile trek and come back and do that several times a day, I think it'll help.
I agree, and we're trying to get out there and do more, specifically right there.
Reminds me of the city of Headville, Kansas. It's just west of Salina. They took an old patrol car. They bought an old patrol car and set that thing in there and put a dummy in there with like a campaign hat and just set it right there at their problem. And of course, it worked for a short period of time, but before long, it became a joke.
Yeah.
And so we're not the only community that has this problem.
No, and the only true way to solve that problem is very expensive to the point that it's
You'd have to
impossible.
redesign the whole road.
Yes, you'd have to redesign the whole road and cut that hill down, and I don't think that's feasible.
Well, it would take more manpower and more equipment than we have to do that.
Yeah, so
We could always tear the oil out and make it back to gravel.
yeah, the next best solution is to do more traffic enforcement.
That's about the only thing we have.
And you know how that works. We'll get compliance for 3 months, and in 3 months
sure.
we'll get a call, hey, people are still driving
And
by
I told
fast.
him that. It's usually just a short-term fix.
Yeah. But yeah, and I don't know if there's any plans of doing anything, walking path or whatever. I don't know. I know there's grant money out there for that, but I don't know, again, that still doesn't solve the problem of the residents who have to leave their driveway on that hill.
Yeah.
So,
Well, there was a few suggestions come up. One was, a three-way stop there at 15 and 0. Better, different signage. Dave and Leslie are going to look into
okay.
to the report that the engineer provided.
Okay. Yep. And like I said, until then, not till then, but we're going to continue. We're going to start working. We have this was brought to my attention late last week, and we've slowly got to working it in the hours that are the most
Right.
traffic.
You can almost look at it like a school zone too.
Yeah, and that's the good news is it's summer. Well, we didn't have school anyways because of COVID, but it's summer, so we got time to go out there. Then during the school zone, that's going to be the hard part. Do I go sit out there? Do I go sit in the school zone? We're just going to have to bounce back and forth.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah.
as much presence as you can provide out there, I think is a good starting point.
Yes, and I don't know if that was mentioned or not that we're starting to go out there or not, but
It was.
okay.
They noticed your deputy out there this morning.
So, okay. And that's when he wrote a ticket, and like I said, and the person he wrote a ticket to works out there, so I'm pretty sure she's going to go back to work and tell people she got a ticket. So,
Well, that's
that's going to be a
That's the
help.
whole point behind enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's-
change driving habits.
Yep. So,
All right, Cody.
okay. You guys have anything else for me?
I have one question for you. Over in the Bird City where you have your building, is it possible to park the cars the opposite direction? I've had about 3 complaints that they
Yes.
get hit there.
Yes, and I have come out because I don't know if you guys understand when it comes down the street, it cuts in to where the building is. We didn't design it; it's been that way for 100 years.
Yeah.
And then Main Street gets wider from all the way back up. Well, when we park there at an angle like this, when you come up to that stop sign, you can't see the approaching traffic coming from the north to the south. So you stop, and then you have to inch out. And a lot of times you inch out, and sure enough, there's a car.
With your cars parked there,
So we moved the one that we had parked there around, and I'm trying to think of whether we want to move to like a parallel parking type situation, or it's an unforeseen thing when we put the building in. It's the only place to park off of Main Street. We can park on the side street, or parallel park, or something like that. So I'm going to experiment with parallel parking and see if that helps. But yeah, I agree 100% because you have to stop at the stop sign, and then just kind of like the stop sign out here by the swimming pool. You come down there, you can't see the street. So once you stop, then you start inching out. Well, if you're not used to doing that every day, say you're in Bird City for the first time, you stop at the stop sign and you just whip out, there's half a block you can't see cars coming down.
I've went through in my little truck and my big truck both. If you're in the big one, you can see.
Yeah.
If you're in the little one,
Yeah.
you can't see them.
No. And I agree 100%.
Or in
and
a car, you can't. You just can't see.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you
That's why we moved that one.
Yeah, I figured that's why you had.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, we gotta figure out what works, and if nothing else, I thought about getting some of that milled asphalt there, on the back of that driveway that goes into the fenced-in area.
Yeah.
Just
back
putting some
behind
milled,
to the west.
yeah, and putting some milled asphalt there, and that'll free up another parking space and put there.
I think if you just park the other direction, that
Yeah.
would probably help.
Yeah.
It wouldn't go
And I don't
over.
know if Edward carry means a public street, we can do whatever we want. We can start parking across the street too and walk across the street. We're able-bodied people, or we should be. We can walk across the street and
Yeah,
park
I'm
too.
sure he would. I don't think he would care. I don't know.
So, yeah.
Well, if he does, you'll know it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, anytime. If there's nothing else, I'll let DJ have it. So,
Thanks, Cody.
yep.
DJ needs to see you.
Morning, DJ.
Good morning.
Thank
Thank you for allowing me to join at the end of the meeting. I know I was
That's
unannounced.
what he's.
Yikes.
I am needing to request to replace a trailer immediately. the Echo trailer that Dave and I have been sharing, that's rated for 2,200 pounds. He uses it for road signs and carrying Bobcat attachment equipment around. I use it to carry an ATV every now and again. With this side-by-side we purchased, I've been using it because it fits right on it, but I found out this morning it is not heavy enough to carry that. Yeah, it now tilt decks in the wrong direction.
Have you looked around?
No. That's why I was able to maybe meet me this morning. I do have 6,000 in my equipment reserve that I could
Well,
use.
look around, get some bids.
Okay.
See what we can come up with. Because there again, it can be shared between the two departments if it is purchased?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well, I believe I could actually put money and time back into this trailer to repair that hitch, and it could still be used to carry the couple 100-pound equipment. It just is not going to carry the side-by-side, which I want to thank you, has also been an incredible asset. I've put 700 miles on it already. We can do 4 times more. It is 10 times safer,
Good.
and I appreciate it.
Good. Yeah. Get some bids and let's see what we can do.
If I find something before the next commissioner meeting, do I need to wait and reapproach?
Kind of depends on price.
Okay.
Because anything over $1,500 needs to be approved by the whole board.
Okay.
Which I'm assuming this would be well over $1,500.
That's what I'm assuming as well.
And, but,
Better to be at least 2,400.
yeah, but if it's a deal that we just can't pass, make a phone call to Scott and he'll,
Okay. Do you have a preference on new or used? I guess that doesn't really matter to me.
I don't think it matters to me, but
I would probably think used would be cheaper, wouldn't it?
condition's gonna play a big part there
Yes.
though.
Yeah.
If you can find one. And
Because you gotta take into consideration tires and condition of the deck and everything else when talking
Yeah, I
used.
think I'd buy a new one.
I think I would too,
And I'm going to go with at least 3,500 pounds axle weight. That sounds sufficient, because the machine weighs 2,050 pounds empty.
but yeah, that's what I do.
I don't know of anybody in town here that sells them.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I saw Orchland's had a couple of bigger trailers down here the other day.
Cochran's might.
Yeah.
That's who I was thinking to start with. Cochran and maybe Skip Peterson might know somebody.
Sure.
So,
I'm sure. There might be something online that he can look up for you.
If you drive around, you might spot one that'd be real cheap.
We can make it try Beaver Valley,
yeah.
over in Atwood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely check around.
Used to sell them down here. I don't know if he's got any down there anymore. Ferguson.
Oh, yeah. Down at his house.
He's
Gary
got
Ferguson.
trailer stuff
Okay.
down there, but I don't know if he's got any more.
It never hurts to try.
Cause he used to have them out there just west of his house. I don't, of course,
I
I've
don't
never
drive that
driven
road,
either.
and I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
No.
Get to looking, let's see what we can do.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, DJ.
Eric wasn't able to be here today, but he asked me to, his last employees met her 90 days and everything's going good, and he just wanted to bump her up to he starts them out $1 below the class 1. And he just wants to move her up to
Sure, if she's
class
done it,
1.
if she's got her training and she's
He said she's working out.
met the requirements, yeah, let's do it. Anything else?
I have to get that reassigned to the recycling,
It's time for dues for
well, not the dues yet.
just
But,
the agreement?
No.
Just a letter?
For myself to be the representative.
He has to be appointed.
Yeah, it's been expired for quite some
Yeah,
time.
they've never sent anything out this year. So
Okay, so,
usually they send something out to me and shit.
and then if we could get an alternate,
Alternate.
Byron has been there before, but, I mean, really, if that, we really don't need one other than for, on paper, because I go to most of them, but if you miss one, it's not that big of a deal.
Does Roger Jensen need to be appointed again? too?
Yes, he does, yeah.
Okay, I'll get a letter put together for you guys to sign next
Yeah.
meeting.
You'll need a motion.
Okay, I need a motion to go ahead and appoint Willie Martinez and Roger Jensen to the Northwest Kansas Recycling,
Recycling Association.
okay, Recycling Association.
I so moved.
Second, all in favor?
I
Aye.
guess.
Okay, anything else this morning?
I can't think of anything.
All right. Motion for
to
adjourn. I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.